Yo, what's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video, and today we are playing a map I have not played on in a good while. If you're not familiar with it, it's called a Skewed World, and basically you are not able to see the road in this map. So the normal context clues you get from road signs and bollards and the road markings, they're not available. Instead, we'll be looking off into fields and at houses and at trees, and that is pretty much the whole concept of the video. Yo guys, quick interjection, I'm editing the video right now, and the last half of this video is some of my best gameplay on the channel ever, I think. So what I'm saying is definitely stick around for that. Let's get into it. And let's get straight into things here, see what kind of streak we can build up. Obviously, we're playing no moving, panning, or zooming today, and let's just see what we're able to get. So we're on a 0 streak, and here's the first round. So this is exactly a typical round on Skewed World. I'm sure if we could turn around, this would be a pretty easy one, but as it stands, I'm not too sure. Looks like we might be growing rubber trees here. And we do have some reddish soil, so I was thinking maybe Thailand, maybe Indonesia here. They're two countries that could certainly work. It looks like this sign might be set up for left-hand drive, so that could confirm the suspicion that we've been one of those two countries. Now, it almost looks like as well that this shadow's being cast slightly south, so that would mean the sun is in the north, and we'd be in the southern hemisphere. So maybe Indonesia is more likely for that reason. I'm going to give it a go, I think. But yeah, this can still be a number of countries in my opinion. And it was right there. Okay, so that's a really great start to the video. I don't think that was an easy round. Let's head through to the next one. Okay, next is looking like it might be somewhere in Asia again, I would say. Now, that's an interesting pole. It almost looks like it has a little hook on the top. That would remind me, if we were in Asia, of somewhere in the Philippines, because that's really the only Asian country that puts a hook on top of their poles. The farmland itself kind of reminded me more so of like Thailand or maybe even Sri Lanka though, so I still think I'm considering those. I'm just trying to work out what's going on the top of this pole. Yeah, it is kind of hard to say, like it could just be dirt on my screen, I'm not really sure. It's a bit too far away to make out exactly. I think it looks more like Thailand, or maybe I'm completely missing the vibe here, but I think actually we'll go Thailand. Maybe it's just on the mind, and that's why I want to guess there, but yeah, it is. It's just, I think it's just a bit too flat for Philippines. I think that's my vibe here, so I'm going to go Thailand instead. And it was Philippines in the flattest part. I find that this map, there's so many locations in just baity areas. I really find that it's not fully random or something like that. There's some of these have to be handpicked. Anyway, next one here, we got an interesting pole top. That's, I don't even recognize what this would be. Maybe we're in Finland, but I don't know if Finland has those pole tops. It definitely feels like this area of the world, right? It could be Russia, could be either of these, Baltics or Finland, in my opinion. Maybe the pole top would make it Estonia. That could make some sense to me. I don't know if the vegetation really feels Estonian, but I think that's the best thing I came up with, so I'll try it here. And it was Estonia, nice. Okay, we're 2 for 3, still pretty good. Next one here is Thailand. I mean, Indo. It just looks like an Indo pole top here. And we're all the way over there. Next one here. Fortunately, we've got some easier ones now. We actually have some architecture here. We have pretty tall wooden poles. Definitely it's important to know the copyright matter on this map. It's 2023 copyright. That's good because the most common copyrights in Greece are 2019 and 2023. And this looks like Greece to me. It looks like we might be in Athens, so I'm going to go there. And it was not. Okay, so copyright can also hurt you, of course. I was really confident. We had lots of square buildings, and then we had tall wooden poles. But, yeah, they were just French ones, all the way down in South France. Next one here is, like, the easiest Lesotho of all time. Like, if you don't know how to recognize Lesotho, just look at these flat mountains, corn, and flat grasslands, and as mixed in with those tall top mountains. I think we're around here. In fact, if you see corn, it's often near Corn Exchange, so hopefully we are. Yeah, and we are. Okay, nice. Good start. And the next one here, oh, this is interesting. So we got a white number plate here, lots of rice. Even though these are not Thai poles, everything about that round looks Thai. So this time I'm actually confident that we're there. And indeed we were. So interesting. I thought it was Thailand a couple of times in the last 2 seeds, but yeah, it ended up being there finally. Next one here, we do look to be having a double-laned highway here. I'm trying to work out from the license plates. There seem to be black license plates. That would definitely check out with Tunisia. I considered Jordan here, but Tunisia does have black license plates, and I guess this is probably near Tunis then. And it is nice. Okay. That's a good score. Let's see if we can continue that. This type of pole top is like the old Italian style. And one country that uses that is Argentina. So, yeah, I mean, countries you see this kind of pole top in, like North Macedonia, Serbia, Albania, Italy. Yeah. But yeah, this one's definitely Definitely going to look like Argentina. We got the sun to the north, and we've got like a bunch of like salt bushes. So yeah, this just feels like it's probably going to be somewhere, maybe La Pampa, maybe Rio Negro, something like that to me here. And it was actually up in San Luis. Okay. Next one here, we're in Southeast Asia. That is not necessarily good news. I'm noticing we have like fences made of wood here. We could definitely be in Colombia, could definitely be in Mexico as well for that reason. Maybe actually Colombia is the answer. I'm kind of between Colombia and Sri Lanka here for some reason. I'm not really sure which would be better. I mean, when you're just looking at the infrastructure like this and you only have really plants and fences without buildings or any signs, it's really difficult on this map. I think I'm just going to have to go for a guess here, even though we are on a 4 streak. By the way, the world record, I think, is like 28 or something, but you can get on the leaderboards with just 22 or 23. I don't know. I don't know which I prefer here. I think maybe with the like wooden fence with like lots of posts, maybe we'll just trust that that's Colombian. I think that's probably the best idea here. And it was nice. Okay. And we're on 5 now. Not too bad. Next one here. This is very much a Mediterranean vibe, right? We have 2023 copyright, so that's not really helpful. We have a wooden pole here. It's kind of like wiggly. That's interesting. Oh, and we have eucalyptus trees. Okay, so my ideas here are Israel, Spain. I could see Greece potentially. Maybe that is a Greek pole. But with the eucalyptus, it's not as common in Greece. So probably Portugal as well would be the other option. I was thinking of Israel here, can't lie. I don't know if this little, I don't know if it's a bit too lush for Israel, but the random eucalypts do make me think of that. And then I guess we may not necessarily be in the, in the right area of the world, in which case it could be maybe South America here. I don't know. I don't know. Israel's so risky because I feel like there's not many places in Israel that actually look like this. What about southern Brazil? That could actually make a lot of sense here. We don't really see the sun, so that's not useful. But maybe the pole makes more sense for that. And then maybe the you know, the vegetation here is just a bit baity. I think actually Brazil is, you know, sometimes on this map you just have to go for the biggest country that's likely. And I think Brazil actually does fit with the eucalypts. I'm gonna try that. I was thinking down here, but I don't know if you really see eucalypts that often there. I'm still going to try it, though. And it was Rwanda. Okay, I wasn't going to go Rwanda. That would have taken some real cooking up there, but, you know, definitely an interesting round. It's definitely a country that has a lot of eucalyptus trees, but, yeah. Okay, this one's a typo, should be at least. Well, it was actually Ecuador. Wow. that was a funny one. I'm glad I didn't get that on a long streak. I would have been pretty mad, I think. Okay, next one here. This is the tall wooden pole that you would see in Greece. And I'm going to go on this island here. Why not? Not too bad. It was Greece, but it's always all the way over in Samos, so not the biggest score. Pretty much as far away as you could be there. Next one here. We're in a field. The vegetation is definitely subtropical. I know I've gone Thailand a number of times, but I think this is actually Thailand again. Thailand sometimes has these weirdly European-looking trees, but then you can kind of tell by looking at the field that, yeah, it's definitely, like, kind of tropical. So that's my logic here. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, and it was Philippines again. That was definitely difficult. Philippines looked more like a typical Thai landscape to me. Next one here, maybe Spain or something. Looks like we might have a blue strip on this plate, I think. It's a single blue strip, I would say. And yeah, vibes. I think we even see the shadow. I mean, the reflection of a Spanish car. I think that might be a Seat. I don't know how to pronounce that one, but yeah, that was my idea here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go for that. I mean, it's kind of cool. I always love on this map when you have to make a call based on something really obscure like that. But yeah, I would say this is maybe Madrid. Let's see if I'm right. And okay, it was Spain, but it was all the way down in Tenerife. So I mean, I'll take it. Not the best guess, but we get the country, and that's all that matters. Next one here. No blue strips on the plate, I think. Unless we do, maybe. Oh, and we have... Would that be Greek? It looks like a Greek street sign. Fight the power. I'm looking for some Greek at least here, because my first thought was actually North Macedonia. I think this is Generation 4 camera, though, maybe. So, yeah. Are we going to get anything else here? Fight the power. I don't see any Greek, but that might be Greek. Yeah, I think it is. No, I think it is. I think that is Greece. Let's go Athens here. It is nice. Very good. Okay. Well, we now have the next round. This looks like a very typical Finland. It could be Sweden though. Like the trees, the coverage, it's like autumn-ish, and then also the kind of very pale road. I think I like that for like middle of Finland here. And it was nice. Okay, there we go. So we're back up to 3 now. I mean, I think my best on the map is like 16, so clearly we're a fair way from that, but we're pushing towards it. Next one here, wooden pole with 3 insulators. I know in yesterday's video I said that you don't get these long crossbars so much in South Africa, but I think this is one of the poles where you do see it in South Africa. They do have a lot of different types. And these kind of pine plantations, if we are in South Africa, are frequently found on the Eswatini border. So let's see if we're right about that. It was actually south of Durban. I guess that kind of makes sense, but normally I would go where I went just then. Next one here. This is clearly Botswana. So Botswana has this very dry coverage with the trees with no leaves, completely dead looking. And when you see that, it often ends up being, I guess, out this direction here, west of the country. Obviously, it's also really sandy there, but we can't really see it here. It's really cloudy on this road, so I wondered if we could be on this one, which is like very wintry, very cloudy road. So let's give that a go. And okay, it wasn't that road, it was actually an off-road up here, which I feel like that's really rare, but hey, I'm right about the country, and that's what matters here. Next one we have Plaza del Mercado. Mercado. We have lots of pigeons, I can recognize those. Okay, one thing that stands out here is that we do indeed have a yellow painted curb. That one I would say is not too common in Europe, so I'm probably thinking that this is going to be somewhere in South or Latin America regardless. It looks like the sun is slightly more southern here, I would say, which is interesting. Maybe that could point us towards Mexico or Guatemala. Admittedly, I was thinking Mexico with the kind of stripes on the pavement here, which I feel like you do sometimes see there, also in Guatemala. So yeah, I don't know if the house or the plaza really looks that Mexican. So that's kind of a concern, I guess. What about the fashion sense? I feel like the fashion sense could fit for Mexico if I know anything about that. And some of the infrastructure does look a bit American, so I could see it, but it could easily just be like Chile, or I don't know. I feel like Chile would be my second guess, but the sun surely doesn't quite fit as well. So yeah, I think Mexico or Guatemala is my main thought, and I think I'll go for Mexico here. This is a really tough one, but let's find out if I'm right about that, or if we're just in Spain. We'll find out. And okay, was Puerto Rico? I mean, yeah, it was very American infrastructure because we were actually in the United States. And we weren't in a state, and that is a very difficult round. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with anyone who can get that right. That being said, we got the exact right latitude. We got the vibe that it was North America. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of the guess despite the wrong answer. Okay, we'll go for our last streak here. Either last streak or last seed, whatever comes first, I guess. Well, this one looks like it's going to be somewhere in the Netherlands, I think, but the architecture is weird. So maybe it's actually the UK or something. This house feels like Irish UK, but the kind of footpath here feels very, and this thing here feels very Dutch. Nevertheless, I think I'll actually go UK. I think that's actually the most likely country here, and we'll find out soon enough. And it was, man. And often when Netherlands looks like the UK, it's all the way to the west of the country, which I guess makes sense. But yeah, that was a very Dutch thing on the side of the road. Yellow filled-in sign here makes me want to go in Sweden or... Wow, not so. Those are red and white chevrons. So I guess this is just Russia. They're just using that as a temporary sign. Yeah, wow, interesting one. Next one. So that's what I mean. Some of these rounds are they're not legit, bro. They're definitely handpicked. Anyway, this one looked like northern Chile to me. I hope so. Or it's just southern Peru. They look the same. This is Australia. Ooh, that's interesting. So we have a flat signpost, and it's bolted in the South Australian way, but I think this is actually Perth. So where is this then? Flat signpost. I don't think you get flat signposts in too many places in Australia. Guess this has to be... it's a Perth one that's not painted yellow, I believe. Wowee. That's Broome. Oh, I forgot that Broome even has new camera generation. That makes sense. Next one here. Big mountains. It's very beautiful here, isn't it? 2022. I thought maybe Turkey. This is like a very green Turkey, maybe, with those kind of dryish mountains in the background. Could be, well, if it's 2022 coverage, which I believe it is, it wouldn't be Greece, but it could be Bulgaria. It could be Italy here. Italy's well possible. Something around that kind of latitude. I'm kind of between Italy and Turkey here. maybe these mountains are a bit too green for Turkey, is what I'm thinking. Or maybe these trees are a bit too normal looking for Turkey, is what I'm thinking here. Could be Romania as well. Northeasterly mountains. I often like to go with my first opinion here, but this is potentially the last round of the video, so I want to clutch up and get it. Lots of poppies. Those are common in Turkey, I believe, or maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of the fact that we use them for war memorials, and they're from, you know, northern France, and you know, we associate Turkey with World War One because there was a big battle for the Australians in Gallipoli. But yeah, I think actually it should be further north, and in which case I'm thinking maybe Italy is the best. Surely there are other options here, but yeah, I think maybe Bulgaria, Italy, Romania. They're probably my main thoughts. I'll go Italy, and it was Italy. Wow. Okay, so the video continues until I die. That was a good one though. That was a really good one. Oh, the next one's harder. Looks like it's gonna be... Ooh. See, I was definitely thinking Europe, but this kind of cobblestone in the ground looks very Mexican. Nevertheless, surveying the rest of the trees, I do think it is Europe, yeah. And we have to pull one out here, guys. This is not easy. I thought maybe Romania, because it kind of looks like Ukraine, but it's Generation 4. So, yeah, maybe Romania could make some sense here. Hungary could definitely make sense, actually. I kind of like Hungary here. I think I'll go for Hungary. Yeah, we see a slight hill to our northeast or east, but yeah, I think that's fine. I think it fits well enough. Let's try it. And it was nice. Oh, that's a really good guess as well. Okay, we're cooking up here. Next one, oil palm plantation. We have this kind of weed. That combination, I'll just go in Malaysia, I think. And it is nice. Next one here, US county sign. Double signpost on the stop sign is kind of common in Michigan, but as it stands, I think it's a bit too hilly for Michigan, so I will go in Delaware, I guess. And it was actually in New York there. Okay, fair enough. Next one here, we have the crap camera, and this one's quite difficult, I would say. Is it India? The thing is, like, normally in India, you would see some houses. We just don't see any houses here. So I guess it could be Nigeria. It is 2023 coverage. I guess that makes India more likely. It does quite look like India. But I'm a little scared, because I just don't really remember having India in this map before. So some maps still exclude it. And it could still be Cambodia. Maybe this looks more like Cambodia. I don't know. The fields are very square, which you often see in Cambodia. I'm looking for any trees which I recognize as Cambodian. I think it actually is Cambodia. Bit risky here, but I'm switching it up. I'm going Cambo. It is. Wow. Okay, man. We're actually cooking up here. Now that the threat of the video ending, I clearly want to give you guys more content here, because this has been a good seed. But we have a wooden pole with a hook at the top here. And that kind of pole I would definitely associate with Bolivia, but the camera generation is wrong for Bolivia. So I think it's Brazil. I think for that reason it's Brazil. Often when you see like a rickety wooden pole like that, it's around Manaus. But what's the copyright here? Because I don't think Manaus has 2023. It is 2023, so probably further south than maybe just like northern Mato Grosso or something like that. If we're wrong, where would it be? I'm actually struggling to think. I think it's just Brazil. And it is actually Rondonia. Very nice. Okay. We're up to 7, guys. Best streak of the video. Let's continue on. Next one here should be a fairly straightforward Canada. Yeah, we got like Generation 2 camera, and plates definitely feel Canadian. Although the red no stopping area is quite American. I can't think of where in the US this would be, because it just looks Canadian, right? If it's US, it has to be Alaska, and it's just not quite Alaskan to me. So I'm just going to go in Ontario here. And we're very fortunate. That was very close to the US, and a terrible guess, but it was Canada. That's all we need. Next one here should be in Peru with these guardrails. So yeah, it's going to be a fairly straightforward one. The video persists. The video persists. Next one here. Ooh, immediate, wow. Interesting vibes here. Immediate thought was in Colombia. Now that I look at it a bit more, I'm thinking more so of a Bhutan or something in Europe. The rock walls are very dark, or could be Mexico too. I mean, the fences. Okay, maybe I'm back a bit on the Colombia, because the fences are very Colombian looking. I really don't mind that Bhutan idea though. It's a real shame we can't see a house or the trees properly in the background. I'm kind of feeling a Bhutan here. It is Generation 3, which checks out. It is slightly volcanic or darker rock, which... Yeah, I mean, I don't think Bhutan's volcanic, but it somehow feels right. But yeah, I'm kind of away from Europe with the fence. I'm thinking it is Bhutan, Colombia, Mexico. And we have a little fern here? I don't know, man. It could still be Romania or something. It's not out of the question. Ooh, like what would you say? I mean, the ferns would be weird for Latin America. So maybe that should lean us towards that Bhutan idea. The mountains, on the other hand, are not that big. They're big, for sure, but are they that big is the question. I'm not so sure about that. Ooh, and the house, it's such a shame. On a world record attempt, you shouldn't leave full screen, but it's such a shame we can't go for a bit of a cheeky peek at that. The dirt road. We do see the dirt road on the right. It's quite pale. Dirt road coverage in Bhutan. I don't feel like it's that common. I don't. Maybe Colombia is actually objectively the best call here with the fence. Look, there's a lot about this round that's very weird, but Colombia is very weird. That's kind of my logic here. Oh man, but I'll be mad if it's Bhutan though, because that was my immediate kind of like vibe check on it, that it might be there, and it would be a sick guess. But I think I have to be more reasonable. I do. Like, man, if we could see onto those trees in the background, I think I could work it out. They do almost look a bit Bhutanese, I can't lie. They do look quite Bhutanese. Nah, it just feels too unfamiliar. I think the vegetation's a bit too unfamiliar. I'm gonna go for it, guys. We have to go for the pog factor here. Come on. Oh, let's go. 10 in a row. We're halfway there. To the leaderboards, at least. Ooh, and we get Turkey. It's got a Turkish blood there. That's good. Okay, it's kind of coverage I would associate more with West. It is all the way west. Next one here. Ooh. Another Colombian fence. This time I'm trusting it more. Definitely. And the road quality feels quite Colombian. I think if we're wrong, it would be Mexico. And I'm just not feeling Mexico on this one, to be honest with you. I think this is somewhere in Colo. Nice. Oh my gosh, we're cooking up here, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, next one here. Come on, give us a good one. Ooh, it's gettable. It's gettable. So, this feels like Mexico. I think this plate's fairly short. This truck behind the minimap is kind of American looking. And then we have those black water tanks I was talking about. So, and yeah, and the Mexican electricity counter. The sun is not helpful, but everything else is looking very, very, very solid for Mexico. I'm going to go straight for it here, guys. Oof, am I right? Okay. Ooh, and we get another gettable one, guys. Come on, let me cook it up. It should... At first, I thought South Africa. But I'm looking here, and we have a white outer line. So now I'm thinking Kenya. So that's what I'm going to have to be convinced away from here. So I'm looking for 2022 copyright. I do see that. The camera also feels a bit low. That would feel very good for Kenya. The houses are a bit weird. Like, why do we have chimneys, though? Because, I mean, obviously Kenya can get cold, but... with a palm tree, I wouldn't have thought it would be such a cold climate, but maybe it is. But it's good that it's 2022. That more or less rules out Rwanda here, at least for the most part. And I don't think it's Nigeria for sure. Like, this architecture would not be there. So I guess the only problem is, would it be a weird South Africa with a white outer line? That's exceedingly rare. I think this is going to be Kenya. And if it's not, I'm not too sure where it would be. So yeah, I'm going to slam it in Kenya here and hope for the best. And it is there. Wowie, 14 in a row. We're getting up there. Ooh, it's a tough one. It's not gettable, but it's a tough one here. Okay. Okay, so we have a lot of pine going on here. The sun is clearly south, so we're in Europe, presumably, or North America. Let's not discount that this could be like a weird Alberta. In fact, maybe that would be the best idea. Ooh, it's 2019 copyright. Maybe. Just maybe, we could actually be in Canada here. I can't discount that yet. Rocky Mountains, okay. 2019 coverage, okay. That could be very useful. Okay, let me actually objectively work it out here. So, France has a fair amount of 2019, I believe. This, though, didn't remind me of France. It could be Italy. I do believe Italy has 2019. It can't be Slovenia. I don't think it would ever be Austria. Yeah, it wouldn't be Austria here. Okay, there's a small chance it could be Austria. Shouldn't be Switzerland. I don't think they would have done Alps coverage like this in Generation 4. Not Germany, obviously. So that kind of leaves us between France and Italy as our European options. With 2019, we do not have to worry about Romania, because they didn't have coverage then. We don't have to worry about Russia. I mean, Turkey. I've never seen a Turkish run quite like this in Generation 4, I want to say, or quite like this in general. I don't think this is a Turkish landscape. Are these the Rocky Mountains? I feel like this is the Rocky Mountains, guys. Is this Alberta? Is this like right on the Alberta-BC border? That kind of rings the most true to me here, I think. Like, we do have wildflowers. Some of it does feel a bit European, I can't lie, inside this underfoliage, but that's an interesting thought. Okay. Moving over. Canada. 2019. We'd be in, like, near one of the national parks, like Banff or something. Oh, it's just like, if we're going through there, we should be on some kind of a highway, I feel. And this feels like it's a smaller road. It feels very European, you know? It does. Okay, so that would be my default guess at this point. Moving back. So I think overall, my vibes, especially with mountains north like this, would be Italy. I think Italy would be the safe send. We're in the Canada 50-50 with Italy here. What do the pines feel more like? They almost feel more American. I just don't know. It's high altitude, you know, kind of vegetation here, which just makes it difficult to guess, in my opinion. Oh man, yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm honestly pretty confident that if we're wrong about Canada, then it would be Italy, which is painful because being in a 50-50 can be so close yet so far vibes. Okay, what about these mountains? They're very tall. They are very tall. We are already very high. Is that a house? I don't believe that's a house, no. It almost looks like, no, I'm seeing things. I thought this pine cone was a chimney peeking out. What would you say about this, man? Ooh, trying to get a vibe off some of these, like, we've even got some, like, parasitic something going on here on this tree. What'd that feel more like? Random rocks on the side of the road? Bear in mind, I have been to the Rocky Mountains. I have. But this, I'm not so sure. Also, if we look out north, we don't really see... If we look out more west, we don't really see any mountains. That could certainly fit. Some of these valleys are pretty wide. But the angle of the mountains, I feel like, is not quite so good. You know what I mean? So we could be, like, right here. And then, yeah, we would see mountains north. And then if we looked out west, there wouldn't be so many. But... it's not that, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's not that many places where that kind of really happens, where you see it north and not west, you know, because, like, the mountains, like, I mean, the range is kind of north, like, east-west. The range is kind of, we're looking north, and the range is kind of east-west, I feel, which is obviously fitting better with Italy. So I feel like we're here. I feel like we are. Oh my gosh, please be right. Don't be France. That would be painful. If it's Canada, like, okay, that was like a crazy Canada, I feel. I'm gonna go Italy here, guys. Let's go, dude. Oh my gosh. This is insane. Come on. And now we get one of these. Okay. Time to lock in and use our noggins. Okay, so Baltics comes to mind, obviously. And we have white flowers. So is this just an easy Estonia? Maybe. Okay, possible countries here. This is actually some elevation in the background, by the way. That's interesting. But possible countries here, okay? Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Sweden, Canada, Russia. Oh, I don't really think it feels Russian. No. And I think it is European. I don't really like Canada here. I mean, okay, the pole tops kind of look Canadian, low-key. But the vegetation looks European to me. It's like got a T crossbar at the top. That's like kind of weird for... you wouldn't really see that in Latvia much. It would also be quite strange, I feel. I feel like it would also be quite strange for Lithuania. Ooh, do we have a structure? What is inside the trees over there? Is that actually a bunch of, like... That has to be some kind of a structure, right? No, I actually think it's just that many trees. All the trunks are all together, and it comes together to look like a structure. I think that's just the trees. They're very thick. They're very thick together. That is strange, man. Okay, maybe we have to start... I didn't suggest Finland, but maybe with the slight elevation and the T pole tops. You know, maybe this is Canada. Maybe, because as much as everything looks so European, what is that pole top doing? Like, it's so far away, but at the same time, and also look at how the pole, like the power lines go above. Isn't that kind of, it's European? It's North American looking, where they're all kind of in line with one another. No way I'm in a Canada 50-50 again here. This is crazy. Low key, guys, what is going on with these pole tops? I actually got to pull up the map here. Okay. It can't be Poland. It is certainly unlikely to be Lithuania with this pole top. I just don't feel I see that. Nor with the landscape, but the landscape could potentially feel like, that would be weird. That would be weird. Latvia, again, pole top just feeling remarkably unlikely. Normally they have the hooks on the side of the poles. Like, I don't think I would see 4 power lines going over my head like that in Latvia. Estonia, maybe. Estonia is like a wild card here. We don't see any green blur, and again with the elevation, don't really like that too much. Finland, do you ever get a pole top like that? Maybe. I'm trying to think how Finnish pole tops even look. Maybe Finland. I just don't get the vibe off the coverage. Like, normally Finnish coverage has a certain particular vibe to it. This, I don't think fits. Sweden. See, Sweden is where things start to get a little more likely to me. But again, I don't know, like, I don't know. Is this how really Sweden looks? I feel like, okay, on this occasion, I may have to go against my Europe instincts, because we play such a roulette in Europe, but if this is Ontario or Quebec, the polls make sense, and we just have to appreciate that it's a really European-looking Canada, and try that. It is possible. It definitely is. I don't see anything here that rules out North America, as much as I hate to guess there, because I just think there are too many options. I'm between Sweden and Canada now. This time I go Canada. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous here, guys. Let's find out. And it was Estonia. It does make sense. It does make sense. Is this just an easy Estonia? Of course, it's like all the way south in maybe the hilliest area. And yeah, there we go. And so was it green blur? I don't know, like I have my monitor settings a bit different now. And that so concludes our adventure here. Man, yeah, and yeah, pole tops, they only made sense for Estonia in the Baltics. But even still, these are really weird ones. They are wooden poles, and they do have 4, which, I mean, go have a look in Estonia now. I mean, Estonia does have random pole tops sometimes, but I feel like that's kind of rare. In the distance here, I mean, like, facing like this, very easy Estonia. I went against my instincts there. I should have just gone Sweden, but obviously Estonia would have been better if I had have recognized that it was more Estonian looking. I don't know. Definitely gettable. All right, guys, there you go. We got very close to the world record. I think that's also my best ever Skewed World gameplay right there. Some of my best gameplay in, I want to say full stop. I actually really played nicely there. Not to toot my horn too much. But guys, that is it for the video. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you guys in a video very soon. So, till next time, goodbye.